everybody has shutters, major shutters.
Venice, on the way to the boat.
Senti, ma detto Sergio che ha...
Okay, we are outside the embarkation building. Here's where all the ships are. It's a whole area here. Where the cruise ships go.
So it's Saturday morning.
It's Saturday morning. What time is it? It's
5:30 in the morning, New York time.
It's 11:30 here. We've been traveling for about 18 hours now. We've been on buses, trains, planes, and the thing is we have to swim over to that ship right there. So we have to go in the water there and swim across through those little markers there over to the ship. That'll be the end of the triathlon. Okay. So we're gonna have a room on the outside like that. Balcony room. Like Papa has. Only ours is gonna be better. And it's free. So we're getting ready to pull out, and the tugboat actually pulls the ship out. Helps guide the ship out. Long ship. September 23rd, 2006. And we're off. How comfortable if I was in the lounge chair on our balcony.
You get our room?
And yes, I'm here too. This is Venice. These are like water taxis. Like we have buses, cabs, they have water taxis. I haven't looked at the Venice book yet, so I'm not sure what those buildings are, but I'm sure there's something significant with the dome tops on them. We'll find out later when we get to Venice. There's another ship, the Seven Seas Navigator. Why wanted me to get a shot of this. It's much smaller than our ship. They're ringing the bell for our 20th anniversary. That was so nice of them. Tower is crooked. Again, we have to find out what that is. It's not the Leaning Tower of Pisa because we're not in Pisa. There's so many canals cutting through these blocks. There's Phil crewing in the gondola. Wow, that is one big crowd. That's the square. That looks like it though. Just didn't see one. Might change the awnings and stuff. Pulling into the port of Bari, where, as you know, our ancestors are from. So this is the port at Bari. Yeah. Just imagine this is where Nene and Gramps came from. That's unbelievable. boat is basically moving sideways. Till we get to the dock. There's another ship there. There's the town. The port of Bari again from the top of the ship.
Morning. We're in Bari.
There's a ferry coming in, probably from Greece. The ferries come in from over there. President Bush stopping by to say hello to us. All these trucks, all these people. Look how high up we are. Some people are getting off the ship today, some of the Italians. Thank God. They've elbowed us to death here. Okay. Castle in Bari.
Swabian Aragonese castle. Of course, the history of the castle is strictly related with the history of the Apulia and of Bari. You know, Apulian region was inhabited from the 3rd millennium before Christ. The first inhabitants were Iapyges. Iapyges were the people setting here from Illyria, from northern region of Europe, and decided to have their place to rest in the Apulia, so in the southern part of the Italy, in the outpost of the western cultures. We call it also a natural bridge between the eastern cultures and the western cultures. So after the Iapyges, the first colonizers of Apulia were the Greek, that for the 3rd century before Christ went in the Italy and found in the whole Italy, all along the Ionian coast, the Magna Grecia. Have you heard, of course, of Magna Grecia, the Magna Grecia colonization? And then from the 3rd century onwards, Rome began to colonize this part of Italy, so the Apulian region. And the Apulian region from the 3rd century after Christ was unified for the first time as regards administration, language, culture, and so on. So we have to wait the Byzantine domination, because Bari in the ancient, in the past, was not the chief town of Apulia, you know. So we have to wait the 975, because the Byzantine commander, the Catapano, decided to have in Bari its seat. So a politician, an important politician, dominator of Byzantium, decided to have in Bari its seat. So for the first time, Bari in 975 became the most important city in the whole Apulia. So the history of the castle begins with Norman domination. Normans where the French were coming from the France and decided to rest in Apulia. So the first part of the castle is Norman. The foundation of the castle are Norman. You could not see anymore the castle how was under the domination, the Norman domination. Why? Well, because the Norman King Guglielmo I, William I, decided to give lots of taxes to Baresi. Baresi doesn't accept these taxes, so decided to give a punishment to our king to destroy completely the castle. So the King William I, in order to punish Baresi that do not want to pay the taxes and had destroyed his castle, decided to raise on the ground the walled city of Bari. He spared some buildings such as the Basilica of St. Nicholas that we can see later on. So the castle was rebuilt thanks to Frederick II, the Swabian Emperor Frederick II. They decided to give the appearance of the castle just it is today. So a trapezoidal plan, this side is longer than the other side, the opposite side. Have you seen the pointed corners? In the corner of the castle there are two pointed corners. So that corners in the past were touched by the sea that touched the castle, of course, and the ditch that you see nowadays was plenty of waters during the Swabian period. Frederick II loved Apulia very much. It was called Puer Apulia, that is the son of Apulia, because he decided to build all along the Ionian coast lots of castles. Have you heard about Castel del Monte? Lemon juice, pressed lemon juice and extra virgin olive oil. And these are fishermen that have just fish his product. Oh, probably to the opposite side. Julian style said that Norman very, very, very simple style. Our gastronomical tradition, made up of very, very, very simple elements belonging to Apulian soil. So this is dried tomato. In Apulia there are also many taralli, these are taralli.
Miss, mano, mano.
But there are many the first one said that
Okay. So you say hello to Franco.
Saluti Franco.
Yeah.
Ciao Franco. Viva, ciao. Bacio.
St. Nicholas Cathedral in Bari.
Poi qui apre candeli.
walking. This is unbelievable, this place. Retired Caballero.
Quella è la via. Sono staglieri, Paolo. Sono staglieri.
Wow.
That circled the city. You have to imagine that the sea touched the walls, so the attacks were coming directly from our beautiful sea. This street is called Street Venezia, Via Venezia. Why? Well, because the Venetians helped Baresi, people living in Bari, to help the city to drive out the Saracens in 1002. They helped Baresi to protect. They protected Baresi from another attacks, the Saracens attacks. Saracens people never come in Bari, thanks to Venetians. So
Look at this.
It's like Florida.
There's a kids' soccer practice. They have an artificial turf field for soccer. Right by the ocean. Look at this. Fully netted, the whole thing. Bigger kids playing soccer. They are into soccer here. And these old stone walls, they said this ocean used to come up to them. And now the ocean is over there. They moved the ocean.
Market Square. So you tend to enter.
So this is the ancient part of the city before they restored it. Okay, 7 o'clock on Monday morning, coming into Greece. The mountains out there. Quite light out yet. I'm not quite awake yet. So if you didn't know anybody, you'd think you're coming into Port Jeff here, right? Looks just like Port Jeff. That's where all the Greeks are in Port Jeff. But it's not. It's Greece. So the whole boat is spinning around. And we're in the dock here. It's still early. Here comes our buses. It's 7:30 in the morning. On Monday. This is Olympia. Ancient ruins.
I'm going to tell you some I'm going to give you some explanation here. And then we will walk in the closer side every 40-50 meters. We're going to stop and we're going to talk about the buildings that we're going to see on the left and the right. We'll form almost a circle. In the beginning, I'm going to talk about the buildings that we see on the right side. We're going to reach a building which is called Leonidim, which used to be a hotel. We'll see the Temple of Zeus. We're going to see the stadium. And we're going to finish our visit of the archaeological site behind the columns down there. That's the temple up here. Behind these columns, we're going to see the altar where we landed the Olympic Games since 1936. So I repeat, the archaeological site of Olympia was completely covered with earth. A century ago, we couldn't see anything at all. If you have a look behind you, there's a road. We're going to see there will be cars passing there. This used to be the level of the earth. They dug about 6 meters here. Where the stadium is, they dug about 10 meters, that's about 30 feet, to excavate the stadium. You couldn't see anything at all. They started excavations in the end of the 19th century, they continued at the beginning of the 20th century, and they're still excavating, at least for the last 10 years they have been excavating. They're moving the two rivers. There's a river from this side which is called Alpheos, another one on the right side which is called Kladios. The hill here is called Chronio, and they are going out also up to the hill. The building that we see behind us over there, 20 to 25 meters behind, with the bricks, was recently excavated 5 years ago. There are beautiful mosaics there. These are Roman baths from the 2nd century AD, and they are going up to the hill. I mean, the excavation they have been doing for the last 10 years, they're going up to the hill. On the other side, they have already excavated 4 buildings of the Roman period with bricks. And near the stadium, somewhere over there, underneath where the other river passes, they're sure that they're going also to excavate the hippodrome, the track race of Olympia. They haven't found it yet, but they are sure that they will push a little bit to the river, and underneath they're going to excavate this hippodrome. So there's also restoring some of the buildings. You see down there the columns. It's only 6 months that they have been working there. They are restoring, they are reconstructing the temple, a small building which is called Philippeia. It was constructed by Philippus and his son Alexander the Great, 338, 336 BC. It's still the same material which has been cleaned. And we're going also to see the temple. At the Temple of Zeus, there is one column, the only one which was reconstructed 2 years ago. So we have works of restoration plus excavations. The material which has been used here is limestone with seashells inside. These are blocks coming from the sea. We don't know where from. We know at least that this is not local stone. The western coast of the Peloponnese, it's about 120 kilometers. We just have sandy beaches, and it has nothing to do with this material. This material looks a lot with the rocks that we have in the northern part of Greece at the Meteora. Meteora, if you have ever heard, these are Byzantine monasteries which are constructed on the top of some rocks. As I told you in the past, officially the first Olympic Games took place in 776 BC. The Games were taking place every 4 years in the end of July, beginning of August. In the beginning they were lasting a day, later 3, and the end 5 days. These games were just for the Greeks, free citizens. They had to be Greeks, free citizens, in order to be able to participate in the Olympic Games. In the beginning the games were just for the men. Later, probably in the 5th century BC, they started also organizing games for the women 15 days before or 15 days after the games of the men. We almost know all the events. The race of the stadium was to run once the stadium. The length of the stadium here at Olympia is 192 meters and 27 centimeters, which is about 600 feet. When they were running once the stadium, this was the race of the stadium. Twice the stadium, another race was called Diavlos. 24 times the stadium with their weapons. And 24 times the stadium, this race was called Dilokos. And later they added more events: javelin, discus, shot put, high jump, wrestling, boxing. So in the beginning, I repeat, the games were lasting a day, later 3, in the end 5 days. They added also some events for the juniors. The boys were 16 years old. And about the women, we just know the event of the stadium, the race of the stadium. For the women was a race of 162 meters. That's why in the stadium here we have 2 finish lines. The one is for the women, 162 meters. The other one at 192 meters, that's for the men. So the games were organized normally till the end of the 4th century. They stopped in 392 when the Christians became the religion of the Roman Eastern Empire. As I told you also in the past, till the end of the 19th century, there are no Olympic Games. In the end of the 19th century, 1892, a French baron, Pierre de Coubertin, with a Greek was called Vikelas, they had the idea to revive the games. Another Greek was called Averf, offered the money for the reconstruction of the stadium, which is located in Athens in the center and has a capacity of 70,000 spectators. And that's where they organized the first modern Olympic Games in 1896. And then the games are taking place every 4 years in another city. The Olympic flame leaves from the altar of the Temple of Hera. The columns that you see over there, that's the Temple of Hera. Don't expect seeing a big monument there. You are just going to see some fragments lying down. You're going to see the picture also, how they lit the flame 2 years ago. Over there, since 1936, Calvin, Joseph Goebbels were the ones who had this idea. They proposed to Hitler. He liked this idea. In 1936, for the first time, took place this ceremony that was on TV. So over there, they put a mirror which has a concave shape, conic shape. They concentrate the sun rays, light the torch, they bring this torch to Athens, they change every kilometer. In Athens it remains a day in the stadium of the 19th century, and then we send the flame to the city which has to organize the games. So we're going to see the altar, I repeat, it is just some fragments lying down. So we're going to form, as I told before, almost a circle at the beginning. I'm going to talk about the buildings that we see on the right side. And on the right side, the first building that we can see, using your imagination, more imagination while we're going to see the foundations of the building. So this first building, we see columns which are in Doric order. This building is called Gymnasium. The long part is where you see another group down there. We have two colonnades. There's a portico. We have two colonnades. There was a roof, a wooden one. So the length of this portico was 210 meters. The length of the stadium is 192 meters. It's even longer than the stadium. So in this portico, which was covered, the athletes were training. Gymnasium means to train in Greek. The gymnasium is a building in which the athletes were training. And that's where they had to organize also the race of the stadium when it was raining. It rains very often. Till yesterday it was raining. Gymnasium, a building of the 5th century BC. The classic period is 480 323 BC. Most of the buildings that we're going to see are here from the classic period, except the constructions in bricks which are from the Roman period, 2nd, 1st century BC or AD. And the Temple of Zeus of here down there is from the 7th century BC. That's from the Archaic period. So the gymnasium is a building of the 5th century BC in which the athletes were training. When it was raining, the race of the stadium was organized in this portico which was covered. Now we're going to walk and we're going to stop every 50 meters, sorry. It's still the morning. So we're going to stop at the second building that we're going to see on the right, which is called Palestra. Palevo means to fight. It's a building which they were organizing the event of wrestling and boxing. So the second building on the right, that's a Palestra. If you have a look on the left side, you see these columns, 4 or 5 columns. I bet it's only some months that they have been working there. It's still the same material. That's the natural color. It's not this gray, black color that we see here of the columns. The humidity, the time has changed this color, but this is they have just cleaned the material and they reconstructed the columns. Of course, the very, very white fragments that you see are the ones which were missing. Everything else is the original. So it's a circular building which is called Philippeum, 338-336. It was constructed by Philippus and his son Alexander the Great to commemorate the Battle of Peronne. On the right side, the second building is called Palestra. Palevo, even modern Greek, means to fight. It's almost a squared building. There's a court in the middle, and that's where they had to organize the event of wrestling and boxing. All the other events were organized normally in the stadium. We're going to see the stadium.
It's like the top of another tunnel.
Which is in marble and which is in the museum. Here you can see the columns from the exterior colonnade at least, because from the interior colonnade we don't know why, but we just have the bases of the columns. Everything else is missing. Over there on the right side we have some fragments also of the blocks from the pedestal of this temple. Take this tent, this big statue of this kilometers high golden ivory. We had put it in the big one. The goddess, the goddess Castilla, probably. We just have the foundations. And behind all these trees, we have the river passing. Removing the last blocks. Those. We have the foundations there.
Back around.
These are small buildings.
Entrance to the stadium. Just leaving the stadium.
If you watch carefully, we have 3 levels here. I told you that they brought the water of the river which passed behind the stadium to the archaeological site. So with an aqueduct, the water was brought here, more or less where the road is now. And we see the first level, you see 3, 4 holes on the right side. And there used to be drain pipes there. Headlines, big headlines, which are in the court of the museum. There's a second level.
This is where they light the Olympic flame. Right here.
On that thing there.
They take it from here and they go it wherever it is in the world.
You're gonna make a noise?
Prezzo di sodio, per questo 20% meno prezzo, signore.
Мы футболку здесь купим. Приезжайте сами. Что правильно? Значит, вы не ищите. Как хотите.
They'll tell you flat out. I mean, they'll leave Lennox tomorrow, I think, and just move on. And there's like no loyalty to that.
Yeah.
Last night it was a $60 call.
Oh,
As my daughters were crying.
trying to find something. Something in there.
It's not time to watch television.
No, we flipped it that last night. That's where that magic show.
No, we were eating dinner.
Oh, that's right. Well, they had one after you did it too. It sucked.
Yeah, somebody else said that. What's tonight? Where's that lady?
Well, tonight's the full one.
Was it appropriate?
That's what I read, 12:30.
12:30 or what? Well, the nicest part about it, about 48 people missing. We're all together. Yeah.
There's our ship coming back from Olympia. I was really enjoying being in Greece. Now we're heading back. Just got my Greek going.
They want market share. I'm telling you what. Because I've
I've
done
got a whole system there, 12,000 BTU, like $800. I got
us too. Yeah, we do too, but I'm actually about 600. The jiu-jitsu, but we go out a show there for that. But they're all the same. They all run off the clippers, and there ain't nothing to them.
Yeah, Fujitsu we buy from Black Plumbers Club.
Sorry?
The local plumbing place sells Fujitsu. We can buy that from them.
Yeah.
Look at that water. Look at this. Beautiful water.
Music up.
Did you guys eat when we were in that
John,
town?
say hi to Liz out front from Connecticut.
Hi, I'm from Connecticut.
Wherever.
Did you guys eat over there in
We had
town?
a big piece of feta cheese from the supermarket.
Did you?
And we got a spinach pie and a cheese pie.
She had baklava. She wanted to get a gyro, and I said, moose is more bland than elk. Elk, no real
Our
fat.
ship. Getting
Yeah,
off the
actually,
bus.
she
We're
likes
going to be
buffalo.
going on the ship.
A wild buffalo. Honest to God,
What a
because
shit.
there's no real fat, it's all protein. It's good.
Bring us door to door.
Jump right in. You guys are on boat H, right?
Yes.
We need to
H.
muscle. H.
Okay, we're going to be saying goodbye to Greece. We're going to be sailing in about an hour.
Greek islands heading towards Turkey. We left Greece about 2 hours ago. It's 4:30 on. Is it still Saturday? No. 4:30 on Monday. Tuesday. Monday?
Monday.
Monday. 4:30 Monday. Today we went to Greece. Tonight's the formal night. And tomorrow's Izmir, Turkey. Is it close? Izmir. Calypso is going to the Galapagos Islands to see the mating habits of the Arctic seal. Here you see the water. Very blue. We have a freaking balcony. How do you like that? go passing along the coast of Greece to Getion. I can't even pronounce it, but another beautiful, beautiful section. Down coast, working our way to Turkey. We have a long way to go yet, but this is Turkey. This is Izmir, Turkey. There's a lot of people live here. It's like 7:30 in the morning, Tuesday.
For everything. And Izmir, one of the most important city and most western city, we can say. So we start from harbor, and there is a old centrum. So on the right side you can see there is a train station. It's built at 1850. This grow one, and it's built first many different area. Ephesus, one of the most important area in Turkey. So still we are visiting to that Izmir's founding place. Second time, Izmir founded there. Old names Smyrna. Smyrna founded there 9th century with nature people from Greeks, people from island. They moved, and pottery was used in this time. Kitchenware founded there. So for this reason we can see. And Izmir has two universities, Aegean universities. So south of Turkey is very hot. It can be 40, 45 on summertime, but this was more chill. On the east border of the Iran and Turkey, a 5,500 meter high over. They started and founded one of the biggest world's imperium during this time. It was the first time in Anatolia. So they were Indo-European people group. Folk group, so maybe they came from Caucasus or people didn't come upstairs, just up down. So they live downstairs, this area, there, so they didn't go management, government bodies, so for this reason, this area, so they I can show the place. Temple for them. So they is showing for us. And people came here, they discussed this problem. And it was very important area. And there you can say rich people's house, and they used gymnasium. It was one gymnasium, so gymnasium used for education and sport. The outside was for training, palestra,
and the garden. And inside it was education for young people, for sport or others. And there, when we are going to look at the different column, this column's area is basilica we are calling this from Rome age or later Byzantine age they used as well. But before it was only 3 column way. And then you can see different column there of statue of the column from different age. Ionic capital or Doric capital or Corinthian capital used that.
Yeah, I want to maybe up what do they call it? Can't think of. Gobbles. Hey, there's a piece. Laura, will that fit in your bag?
I don't think anybody could lift it.
And the high place I says is the most important place for the management. Opposite this plutonium. Left side you can see this Doric column, earliest age or Hellenistic age, Doric column. Doric age, this is 16th century. And later we can see Ionic capital and Corinthian. Ionic you can see here as well. This Ionic capital with round hall, and last one with Corinthian capital with acanthus leaves.
You can come
Third
closer.
one, if you are looking there, like Ionic, but bull head is original and unique. It's not usual, it's unusual. So it's a symbol for us after demolition, after earthquake, today there.
And since Ephesus was one of the important cities in the old days, it was lit at night. There was a portable torch fastened with rope from all four corners.
This Tempest, it was the other side, Heracles Gate. It was a room. Come side please, other group can go. And this area, it was a lot of shop under the Domitian temple. You can see small room for people, for calls, so you can see very beautiful. And after that, you can see this gate, this column, Heracles Gate. You can look around that, you can see on the column, that's Heracles Gate. Follow please, so it can be many groups. Yes. So Heracles is recognized with lion post. You can see one lion on his hand. He killed Nemesis lions. They are so powerful. They show that both sides. So they lived here for 2-3 days, pension or hotel, they build it. If you are looking here on the right side, you can see many houses, small house. So first time you can say one group there, front of them straight with mosaic. Back of the mosaic also 2 floors up. It's a symbol of the ticket, symbol of the...
Nice to meet you. Your Christmas cards, right? Yeah. There you go.